Welcome to Indiana Sports Beat Radio, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Looks over the middle, second guesses, fires, throws. Does he make the catch in the end zone? Yes! Touchdown! Oladipo to win it.
Another one! Another one!
Oladipo!
Another one! Huge hole! He's at the 30! He's gonna go! 10, 5, touchdown! Jonathan Taylor!
Galloway finds Rob Finnessy, who fires the three, and
He hit it!
Now, from the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios, here's your host, Jim Coyle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome aboard. And it is Wednesday. We've made it halfway through already. Quickly. This week seems like it's going by. The weather has been spectacular, although yesterday was quite warm for what we've had. So I guess should not complain, right? But I'll do it anyway. Daggone. I was doing my damnedest to not use the AC yet. And getting to last night was not easy. It was a little warm. But man, oh man, did it feel amazing in the morning. So hopefully it's going to be another spectacular day, or it's a spectacular week. Another spectacular show today. Bob Kravitz, Kyle Neddenriep, DJ should be along. Is Rick Bozich on today, John?
DJ is on Thursdays, and then we should have Rick Bozich, yes.
Oh, okay. No, but working on a very, very special guest, just waiting to see if availability for them today is there or not. Jordan Hulls, your newest Indiana basketball staffer. We're hoping that Jordan can get free. And if he can, he'll join us. And if not, we'll do it tomorrow. But either way, we will be talking to Jordan either today or tomorrow. So waiting to see how his schedule works out. So again, congratulations to him. Saw Warren Central's Tay Davis will not be able to play on the All-Star team, which kind of sucks for him. I hate, and it's because he transferred to, or is going to Seton Hall, as is his brother. Louisville losing both of those guys, but he has to go to school and report to school, so he will not be able to play in the Indiana-Kentucky All-Star game coming up here soon. As a matter of fact, that's in, 3 weeks maybe, taking place in Southport and Owensboro, but also they've got some other games scheduled as well that might be of interest to you. The Indiana Junior All-Stars will play the Kentucky Junior All-Stars June 5th at Bedford North Lawrence High School. Then the Junior All-Stars will play the Indiana All-Stars on June 8th at Mount Vernon. And then the Indiana All-Star games are set versus Kentucky for June 10th down in Owensboro, and the next day, June 11th at Southport. So a lot of action coming up there and a lot of opportunities for you to see some great talent and for Indiana to continue its mastery over Kentucky in that series as they lead that by a factor of almost, it's definitely 2-1, but it's more than 2-1. I think it's like 99-40 something.
I'll tell you what, though, if Kentucky's ever going to make a dent in that record, it's going to be in the next couple of years.
They are never going to make a dent in that record, me tell you.
I'm not saying that they're going to win, a handful of games, but if they're ever going to get some wins, it's going to be in the next couple of years, probably.
Why?
Because they have some high-level Division I talent in the next couple of years.
Indiana always has high-level Division I talent.
Well, of course, I'm not taking anything away from what Indiana high schools have, but Kentucky can make it competitive is what I'm trying to say.
It would be nice if they would, because it's so bad that there's always been talk of ending that series, which that would suck to see that go away because Kentucky's not good enough. That would not be good, but hopefully it continues. We'll talk to Kyle Neddenriep about that. He is today, isn't he? Yeah.
Yes.
So there's that going on. I hate that they in the Indiana side, they've always played at whether it was Market Square Arena or Gamebridge, and they're in Southport now. And I don't know if that's anything to do with. I think that last year they did that, but I thought it was because they were doing some construction. But is this a permanent thing now?
Well, if you're asking me, you're asking the wrong person. I don't know.
I wasn't, but I heard you pop in, so I thought you might have an answer.
No, I couldn't tell if you were addressing me or doing a rhetorical.
Tim wants to make sure everybody knows that Gabe Cupps' team will be playing in New Albany High School on December 10th. So that's for those of you down south. You can get a look at Gabe Cupps then as well. But he's all over the state as well, playing in these summer AAU events. But there's another opportunity actually to see him in the high school setting. That pretty smart thinking to get that game on the schedule, because that had to just happen kind of quick for New Albany. Not sure that that's in their favor. They weren't very good last year. No idea, of course, what they have coming back this year. But we know what Gabe Cupps' team has. I think they went to – didn't he win a state championship? I think he did.
Yes, he did win a state championship.
Yeah, that's that could be ugly. But let's hope not. How's everybody else doing? Let's see everybody jumping on the Andy Moore Honda hotline. And don't forget about our friends at BB's Market. BB's Market is your local meat shop, steakhouse, and caterer, no matter where you live. Some of the best custom meats around and best in-house made products. You can just reach out to them at visitbbsmarket.com. So you can.
Porter says Gabe Cupps lost in the championship final for the state, so maybe I was wrong about that.
I see that. But don't forget to go to visit bbsmarket.com for online ordering, and you can take care of all that right there. And don't forget to join the WOW Club before you do that, so you can earn your points. All right. Everybody hitting us up on the Andy Moore Honda hotline as well. Dwayne along, Ross, Forrest, Robert. Forrest back down in Georgia. Michael. Robert. His mom turns 88 today. She's a huge Indiana basketball fan. Please tell your mom that I said happy birthday. That's incredible. A great 88th birthday wish. You should have told us her name. I would have said it. I would have wished her a happy birthday directly. Cohen Carr planning a second visit to IU, apparently, before he makes his decision. The Truth says he's going to be at Owensboro, baby, for that game. So good for him. Tony V's along. Happy birthday, Carol. Happy 28th birthday, Carol. I bet she feels like she's 28. So happy birthday. Where is Carol? Out of curiosity. We'll find that out from Robert, but happy birthday to her. That's awesome. Anytime we can do that, that's what makes this fun. Looking forward to talking to Rick today, and most importantly, I hope we can get Jordan on. I know he's excited, but I mean, they had to Evans patch. Man, is that in Indiana? And Robert asking, when was Chris Mack offered the IU job? Where did that come from?
Someone put up a hypothetical saying, would Chris Mack have done better if he had gone to Indiana instead of Louisville?
That was simply a rumor that was not true to my knowledge. So it was, there was a question of that was he ever talked to? I don't know, because I don't know who that Scott talked to everyone. I don't know who all he talked to. So I can't say he didn't, but I don't think that was, no. I'm going to say no, he was not ever offered the IU job for certain. I don't know that he was even talked to, but he was never offered the IU job. Whoever thinks that is
by the way, Robert says he meant to say Evansville, not Evans Patch for Carroll.
Oh, I get that's probably a nickname for Evansville. Hey, big doings down there, man. They caught the those people that were on the lam who were prepared for a shootout, apparently. So good job. Maybe Carol probably was the reason. She probably gave him a tip. And make sure Carol, she's down in Evansville. Hopefully listening on 90. She can always listen to us on 97.7 The Ref down there at Evansville every day at 1 p.m. Hope you guys are doing well down in Evansville, by the way, on The Ref. But, yeah, maybe Carol thwarted that. Maybe she was the reason the police swooped in. Ross says he lives down in Kentucky and he asked a friend down there in Kentucky about the Indiana-Kentucky All-Star game. He knew nothing about it. How much of a fan is he?
No, I would say that's probably, you would be surprised maybe at how many people outside of the Louisville area pay attention to things like high school basketball all-star games. Because most of the talent in Kentucky comes from the Louisville area. And Ross is from down there in Somerset, which is more South Central.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. How about this? Carter Matheson breaks the IU freshman home run record after hitting his 15th home run over the weekend. Yeah, I saw that. That was in the Michigan series. That was a third straight series win for Indiana baseball. They've climbed back into the Big Ten playoff picture. So good for them. They were not having a great go of it. So yeah, hopefully they're going to keep things rolling, and that's a good time to get on a roll. Speaking of being on a roll, are you kidding me? The Cincinnati Reds don't look now, but they've won 6 games, my friend. They're only, let's see, 2 full games back of the Nationals. Or maybe that's 3.5 of being the worst team in baseball. Oh, and the Cubs. Hey, the Cubs are within the reach. So are the Pirates. They've only won 12 games. They're 12-17. Hey, man, the Reds could go on they probably won't. 6-24. That's an ugly looking number. 200 win percentage. Or is that their batting average? Yeah, that's the batting or their win percentage. 200. That's horrible.
Break.
15 games back this early in the season. But they did win 3 out of 4 to get up to those 6 wins. We've got to take a break. We've got a big show coming. Bob Kravitz joins us from The Athletic. Kyle Neddenriep, Rick Bozich, and hopefully we're working on getting – oh, and I can tell you right now before I take this break, and I think I'd like to do that. Oh, damn. That's not from him. We'll be back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio, brought to you by our good friends at BB's Market. Make sure you visit bbsmarket.com for online ordering. Back with Bob Kravitz right after this.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington. Whether you're visiting...
Good morning, Sir Kravitz.
Good morning. How are you?
You're looking sprite and spry.
Yeah, two words that have never been used in reference to me. I just woke up, so get my coffee. I'll be just fine.
Well, what hat we got going on there?
The Los Angeles Kings, the old Los Angeles Kings.
Oh, man. You know, yesterday
cool.
I was thinking I need to find me a Cleveland Indians hat before there are no more.
The old racist Chief Wahoo.
Yep. I'm not, it's not as a racist, but the hat is cool.
I know. Yeah. Well, it depends which Indians hat you get. If you get the Chief Wahoo hat, that to me is really, I hate that. I hate that logo. But the other Indians
that was cartoonized. That was characterized, I guess you'd say. Yeah,
I mean, imagine if they.
And I agree with you on that.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in Cleveland, I wrote all the time they had to get rid of the Indians nickname. That made me very popular.
Oh, I'm sure. But
I get a hat for the Macon Whoopee.
You know, it's funny. I was looking at some hats the other day because you can never have enough when you don't have hair, and I came across the Macon Whoopee hat. So I'm thinking maybe I'll spend a few bucks for a Macon Whoopee hat and roll that one out next time we talk.
That would be fantastic.
You know,
all right, I'll do it for you guys.
Maybe I will do it for you, Robert. All
right,
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, making Whoopee hat, and it's right there.
What's their logo?
Two people screwing.
There's no way.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sure they had to keep it G-rated. I bet it's just.
Yeah. It's just I'm sure it is. Yeah, I don't remember what I came across, to be honest with you. What the hell are we talking about today? What's going on? Oh, we got the lottery coming up. There's that.
Yeah, there is that. The NBA playoffs are going on there.
Yes. Good
they've been kind of entertaining, man. I've been watching for some reason, the Mavericks more than anybody. No reason.
Yeah. Oh, I fell asleep early last night. Who won that game?
You know what? I did too. I was watching it. The Suns were leading, but where's my...
Look her up.
All right, here we go.
Homepage or on the station every week, Monday through Friday. If we're not on a station where you live, we should be. Ask for Indiana Sports Beat Radio. This segment is brought to you by Southern Stone Restaurant. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Welcome back on this Wednesday. We've made it halfway, and to get us over the hump, we've got Bob Kravitz from The Athletic. Robert, how are you, sir?
Speaking of humps,
Boy, what a great segue.
how are you, Jim?
I'm fine. How are you, more importantly?
I'm good, man. Getting better every day. I'm gonna go out and play some golf on Sunday. First time in a month and a half. So I fully expect to shoot a 77.
Awesome. We'll make sure we have you down, that you can get down to here to Bloomington on June 23rd for Jordan Hall's Never Lose Hoop golf outing.
I love that. Please get me down there. I'd love to do that.
I will send you that flyer if I haven't already. But yeah, that's going to be awesome. And for everyone else, there you go. The Never Lose Hoop golf outing. If you want to play, you can. All the information is on thehoosier.com, every chat board, but also you can go here and you'll see that there's the link, the Eventbrite link, that you can go sign up or donate. If you'd like to be a whole sponsor, you can do that too. It's only $100. We'll put your name out there and get a picture with Bob Kravitz and Jordan Halls next to it and send it to you. Some fun stuff.
Well, I'd be the one guy that Jordan is taller than.
There you go. You've always got that. You've always got that. Speaking of Jordan Halls, there's something. Newest staffer, which I knew that those conversations were going on. I didn't know that they'd come to a head already, but Jordan was, they had to pull him out. It wasn't just easy. I'm sure people probably think it was easy for him to go, oh yeah, this is great, I'll just come right home. It wasn't. He's at the top of his game right now. He is playing as well as he's ever played. He's on as good a team as he's ever been on. He's having the most success he's ever had professionally in Europe. Last year they did great. This year they're still doing great. And he is. I mean, I've watched some of his games. He's shooting 45% from three today.
That's great.
I mean, this is a guy that he's probably 3 inches short of being in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, how tall is Steph Curry?
Steph, about 6'1", 6'2", I would think.
So but
Steph, Jordan doesn't have Steph Curry skills though.
He didn't have his quickness either. I mean,
no. I mean, but I'll tell you what, it's tough to get those guys out of the European leagues, because I remember in 2001 or 2, it was before the World Basketball Championships in Indianapolis. They sent me over to Italy to cover
a rough gig.
Yeah, the EuroLeague Final Four in Bologna, Italy, and I talked with a number of the stars of the EuroLeague, including Manu Ginobili at the time, who was playing for Bologna, and like their best player, a guy named Dejan Bodiroga, was telling me, "There's no way I'm coming to the NBA. They play 82 games. You play 2 games a week in the European League. You get paid an enormous sum of money. Most of the time they take care of your mortgage or rent or whatever. Why would you leave? And the beer, you can't beat the beer in Germany."
No, but is it cold over there, or they serve it warm?
No, it's just like here, yeah. No, I mean, this must have been a really good position for him, and a chance to come home and be part of something he loves. So good for Jordan. I don't know exactly what is, the X's and O's of what he's going to be doing, but good for him. I'm very happy for him. It's great to have him back, part of the IU family.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of positives over there. He doesn't have to pay for anything hardly. The housing is provided. I think they give him a car to use,
nice.
And it's tax-free money, baby.
Gotta like that.
Tax-free money. So, and his family's over there. So it's not like he's been separated, which is good. But also, this family is apart from the grandparents. So you got that. So it's just, it's just it's a surprising hire by me, not for any negative reasons, because I wouldn't have thought that Jordan Hulse is someone that Mike Woodson would have thought of, just because there was, I don't know.
No connection.
Yeah, I'm trying to find, because his grandfather came to Bloomington with Bob Knight on the coaching staff from Army to Bloomington, is how the Hulse got here, which is a cool story in and of itself. But I think he was gone by the time Mike Woodson was on the IU team.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Woody was long gone by the time Jordan came along. But
no, I meant I think that his grandfather was off the staff.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I lost you there for a second.
When Woody was playing,
Yes. I think that's probably right. No, hey, look, recruiting coordinator is an enormously important position. Like I say, I don't know exactly what he does, but with everything going on with the NILs and the portal and everything else, it sounds like it's going to be a hell of a challenge. And I'm sure Jordan will be up to it. I'm a big Jordan fan.
Well, not only that, but getting back to him shooting 45% from three, if there's anybody that can help guys shoot, I think it would be Jordan, because he's had to do this from something you mentioned right at the beginning. As an undersized guy, he's had to fight to get shots. He's had to get shots off quickly and get them off in tough situations and know when not to take the shot. I think that he is going to be excellent in that area. I don't know what all his duties are. His title is team and recruiting director.
Right. So I don't know if he's going to be working directly with the players and,
I can't imagine him not.
But
he's allowed to. He's allowed to.
Good.
Because now they recently changed that NCAA rule that it used to be only the 4 coaches could have hands on. Now it allows for 2 others to do that. So
I wasn't aware of that.
But yeah, I knew that they had been talking, but this is not the position I thought that they were bringing him in for. I thought it would be more for a developmental type of position, but maybe that's just they just left the position as it is. I don't know how much recruiting he'll actually do.
I don't know either.
Because you got you got the 4 coaches, and I was hoping he'd be on while you're on today, because we're trying to get him on. He's hopefully coming on with us today. He's waiting to see if he has to do a Zoom call already with IU. So
okay, all right.
But there's that. But looking, that's got to be a big boost, and it's also, to me, it's showing Indiana is where they are or where they were because of boneheaded, asinine decisions for a long time. I mean, bad decisions, bad hires, just bad contracts that made you wonder. Now I'm starting to see decisions that make sense, that seem to be propelling things in a forward motion. So it seems like there's a lot of nothing but positivity coming out of that program right now. And that's been a long, long time, Bob, since that has been the case.
Yeah, I think Scott Dolson's the real deal. I mean, I think Dolson has a real good sense of what this place is about, and him along with Woody. I mean, look, I was a little taken aback by the fact that Fife was let go, and then Mata took the Butler job. I'm like, who the hell's going to run this thing along with Woody? But they've done a good job of filling those roles, and yeah, I think Dolson's a really sharp dude. Look, when they hired Woody, I was like, I thought they could have done better. And look, the jury is still out. But he was able to keep a lot of guys last year. He's got a number 5 recruiting class coming in at last check. So things are definitely moving in the right direction for Indiana.
No doubt. And I agree with you on Scott. He is just hitting home run after home run. And so hopefully that continues for them. We'll find out. Indiana All-Star game coming up soon. That thing is kind of lost its steam. It used to be played in Freedom Hall in Louisville and Market Square Arena and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Now it's in Owensboro, what Kentucky's has been in. Theirs has been down for a long, long time. They move around
really
from
bad.
Bowling Green to Frankfurt to everywhere.
Bellarmine,
which is smaller than most Indiana high schools.
Right.
But Indiana now playing in Southport. I think they did that last year because of some remodeling things. But
yes, correct.
are they just going to leave it there now?
That would be my guess. I don't know for sure. It's not something I've looked into, to be honest, Jim. But it seems to me it costs quite a lot of money to do it at Gamebridge. Unless they have some sort of deal worked out. But the crowds are not great. It's not what it used to be. It used to be a must cover event when I got here in 2000. Now it's like, until you mentioned it, I completely forgot it.
That's something someone else said earlier. And I'd ask the question why, but everything has lost something. Everyone is still fighting to get their audience, to maintain it, because there is just so much to do now. There are so many distractions. I don't care if it's TikTok, whatever it is. There are just so many distractions that I remember being from Southern Indiana, going to Freedom Hall.
Right.
And that game and that place being almost filled, and it held like 19,000 people, I think. 20,000.
Right. Well, if you want to know why this thing has gone in the crapper, just look at our neighbors from the South.
The record?
My God, Indiana is totally dominated. Kentucky's got good players, but they don't seem to be part of this program or this event. And the fact that it's so one-sided, I think, takes a lot of the luster off of the whole thing.
There was talk a while back of canceling it or changing it because of that very thing of finding someone different, like Illinois or Ohio, to play, because it's so lopsided. I mean, it's like it's more than a 2-1 margin wins.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
much more than.
It's like 90 something to 40 something, I believe.
Right. Yeah, like I said, when I got here, that was something they'd tell me, oh, yeah, you got to cover that. Okay, fine. And Indiana had great players throughout the years. I'll tell you a funny Larry Bird story. So Bird made the Indiana All-Stars whatever year. He was at Springs Valley, and he's there. They got a game against against Kentucky.
It's a great story. This is a great story.
Late in the game, the coach, and I don't remember who the coach was, says, "Larry, get on in there." Larry says, "I won't use his exact language, but he's like, I prefer not to. You didn't play me when it mattered."
Yeah, didn't he say something like, "I don't play mop-up minutes for anybody"?
Right, something like that. Yeah. I'm not a mop-up guy. So, yeah, Larry put his foot down and said, "I ain't going in there, man."
That amazes me, because that shows me how far he was ahead of people. This dude is an 18-year-old hick. And I don't mean that negatively. I mean, he would say this. He's an 18-year-old hick from French Lick. Probably none of the other guys on the team had ever even heard of him, probably.
Right.
And thought he was just he made it because he piled up numbers playing against nobodies. And it's a shame that they didn't see that in the practice. And I always talk about what's a shame is he didn't stay at Indiana. Can you imagine? And I may have mentioned this to you before, but he would have been on the 75, 6, 7, and 8 teams.
Oh, they never would have lost.
It would have been unbelievable.
It might have been two undefeated seasons, or even 3.
Without question.
Well, the story there very quickly is that he didn't feel comfortable with the team. It wasn't so much that Indiana was too big.
That's the story that's been told. The truth was it was
players.
Number 54 mainly, wasn't it?
Ken Benson. He hated Ken Benson, and in fact, when they got to the pros, and I don't know Benny hardly at all, but once they got to the pros, Larry always took it upon himself to light up Ken Benson. Always beat the hell out of Ken Benson.
And when he decided to do that, he could do it.
Yeah, he could do it. He would call it out. He'd say, "Yeah, I'm going high. I'm going top of the key here." Boom. I mean, he would call a shot every time.
Yeah, I think the truth of the matter is that the story's always been Bloomington was too big and it was too much for him.
There might have been something to that.
Well, I know that, but I think that's a story he said because he didn't want to tell the truth for a long time. He didn't want to say what it really was because he was trying to not throw anybody under the bus, even the guy he didn't like. But the truth of the matter is, I heard a story that they were shooting one day and he was at the other end, and Kent Benson walked down, took the ball away, and says, "You don't deserve to be here," and walked down the other court. But see, to me, that I would have thought that he'd have taken that challenge to light him up then, to do what he could to light him up in college on
practice.
And he could have done it, and that would have been golly.
Yeah, but he never even practiced with IU.
Amazing, and that's just sad. It truly is. But
yeah, well, he did all right for himself.
The good news we have is we're going to have Jordan Hulls.
Good.
So it's he's going to let me know if it's going to be in the next segment or right now or coming up here soon or the following segment. So we'll take
you can kick me out anytime you want, buddy.
Well, no, John, is it even time for a break?
Yes, it is.
If he comes on, you're welcome to hang out and see if he comes on next.
Right. And
we'll take a quick break. Brought to you by our good friends at Southern Stone Restaurant, of course, located at Patterson and Rogers in Bloomington. This year hosted the men's, women's basketball coaches shows and the football coaches shows. Think they're going to move it to one of the other places next year. We'll see. But great place to eat. It's some of the absolute best food in Bloomington without question. Comfort food with the Southern flair. Back with more Bob Kravitz here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after this.
We'll be right back to the golf club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Whether you're visiting Bloomington.
All right, so if he's about to come on, what do we do about Kyle, who's coming on right now as well?
Oh, I did not know that.
I was thinking that earlier.
Dude, I can't. I'm trying to message people. And
is there a way you could just tell? I mean, not tell him, but ask, because I know you said the next segment or the one after. Could you ask him if he could do 9:30, which would be after Kyle?
Is that a 50? Is that at 9:50?
This is 9:10. This upcoming one is technically 9:10 to 9:30.
Actually, I lied to Bob. It's 9. It'll be 9:50, wouldn't it?
Right now, it's 9:10.
I'm talking about when he can. His would be 9:50 or 10:10. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're getting an hour behind. Okay.
Just have me as long as you need me. I mean, I got some work to do for a change, but whatever you need, Jim, it's fine with me.
No, you can. I mean, if you want to jump off, you can. And if you want, or if you wanted to come back when Jordan's on, you were welcome to.
Okay. I'll jump off if that's okay with you.
That's fine. And I'm saying if you want to come back for Jordan interview, fine. If not, if it doesn't do you any good, don't worry about it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Only if it helps you.
Oh, okay. Probably not. Probably not.
All right. I'll be looking up some whoopee hats.
Okay. Sounds good, buddy. See you guys later.
You. Thank you very much, buddy. I hope you're doing better. Appreciate you.
See you, man.
Golf soon. Golf soon.
Can't wait. Later.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
So he
that's
could
great
be on
news.
with Bozich, which would be good too. So
What time does Brick come on?
9:50. But if he can come on with Rick, I mean, it's not a big deal.
That's why I did it then. Yes, that's why I did it then. All right.
And Kyle should be on shortly because he responded to my message. Here he is. About 20 seconds, Jim. And Kyle's here.
Insanity and fun for the entire family. Where else can you get all you can eat, listen to great music, enjoy it all on a beautiful Southern Indiana spring night? Let's kick summer off early. For more information, go to the Courtroom Sports Grill Facebook page.
This segment is brought to you by Remax Advanced Realty, Indy Home Pros team by Cheryl Sizemore. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Welcome back. Indiana Sports Beat Radio coming to you here on this Wednesday. We've made it halfway through. Brought to you by our good friends at Remax Realty. If you're in the market for a home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore and her 2 decades of experience. It could be the difference between you getting the home you want and not. Reach out to her, Cheryl at IndyHomePros.com. Please welcome from the Indy Star, Kyle Neddenriep. How are you, sir?
Hey, good, Jim. How are you doing?
Cannot complain. I was looking forward to things starting to slow down. They seemed like they had Monday, and I'm like, wow, I've still working all day. About 4:30, I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to sneak out, play some golf. And right about 20 minutes before I was going to walk out early to go up and warm up, the Jordan Holes release came out, which I knew was coming, but no idea when. Bam, that hits. And then, of course, they promoted somebody else. And then about a half hour later, they announced a new color analyst for the football broadcast team. And it's like, boom, 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 boom. I mean, which is great. We love that kind of content, and especially in the summer, but not at 4:00 on any day. Hate when that happens, but oh well. There you go. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, I'd heard that about Jordan Holes a little bit last week. Is that was probably I'm sure people knew before that even, but it sounded like that was in the works for a while, and it gave me a chance. I think we actually talked on your show maybe a couple of years ago about his Mr. Basketball picture and how I remember him saying he was not feeling well that day. Of course, Jordan was kind of a skinny guy anyway when he was in high school, and so I shared that picture with him after that announcement was made. So it's kind of gave me a chance to send him that picture. But he's good for him. I mean, he's had a great pro career, and good to see him coming back home.
You have to send that picture to me. I mean, I'm sure I can find it, but those are always fun. He's actually joining us here on the show in a segment or two. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to not having it to be the last time we do it from Germany. And I was talking earlier, he could have played and probably planned to play another 2 seasons. He's at the top of his game right now, man. He's shooting 45% from 3.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I'd seen that too, that he was really having he's playing as good as he ever has. So, good for him. I mean, that's if you're going to go out that way, I mean, what a way to go out. So, yeah, I mean, it's not, obviously he could always shoot it, but yeah, to do it at that level, very, very cool. And, had a great career. And now I'm sure, looking forward to that next chapter.
There was something that happened in the high school realms this week that I was really wanting to talk about with you, and I've cannot remember what it was. But one thing I am looking at is a story you did on the Perry Meridian boys volleyball team. 13 of their 15 players are from Burma.
Yeah, well, they're of Burmese descent. They on the south side of Indianapolis, and if you haven't been through there, like the Southport area, or haven't been paying attention, I guess, or whatever, the Burmese refugees have, and it's been over probably the last 20 years, and really the last 10, probably more so, have really flocked to that area and kind of made it their home. And you see the restaurants and the and the makeup of the school has changed a lot. I think it's now this year, Perry Meridian's like 25%
Asian.
It used to be primarily white, but now, a lot more influence from the
25% Asian population.
Yeah. Asian and, some Hispanic population too, but a lot of Asian population has entered into that school. So, it's really interesting though, the volleyball, the boy, and more so on the boys side than the girls. You'll see if you drive through the neighborhoods and they're very into the reason they left Burma is because of the persecution of the religious Chin, the ethnic Chin that is there. So they have come to America. So they're very into their church. They spend a lot of time at church. And if you drive by the churches and the parks and stuff, a lot of them, soccer was always kind of the big sport in their country, but volleyball's kind of become bigger. And especially on the boys side, or the men, the older, the adult men, younger adults, playing a lot of volleyball. So this has kind of become part of who they are as a culture. And Perry Meridian now, they have a really good coach who's involved in the club, boys and girls, and he coaches the girls team at Perry Meridian too. But they're really starting to make waves as a really good boys volleyball program, and interesting to watch. I went out and watched them play. I think 13 of their 15 players are of Burmese descent, and to be, the two that I talked to who are their captains, they were born here. They were born in Indianapolis, but their parents were refugees. So they're like full Americanized. They know nothing other than living here in Indianapolis, but they've gone back to their home country, and they talked about how rugged it is. It's very, one of them was talking about just how lack of the green space. It's all dirt. There's no very little electricity, and they said, man, it's just, they feel lucky to be here. So very kind of a cool story. I don't think people probably know. People probably don't even know really how the population has changed there in the south side of Indianapolis. But then the product of that is this volleyball team that's really good, and a student population that probably looks a lot different than people realize. So just kind of a neat off the beaten path story a little bit, and they're a really good team too. Roncalli beat them the game I watched, but Roncalli's the number one team in the state, and Perry, I think, is probably 7 or 8. The boys volleyball state tournament, I think, is next the 21st, whatever next weekend is. So they'll have a chance to make a run at that state title.
And boys volleyball, one of the 2 new sports added by IHSA, which again we talked about. I cannot believe their tournament has been around since the mid 90s, and they're just now becoming a sport. So they're going to have probably be able to quickly build that thing up. How is boys volleyball not going to become more popular than girls volleyball?
Well, it's probably, I think it's yet to be seen. I mean, girls volleyball is so entrenched in our world. It's such a popular sport. I mean, it's one of those things, like, as you talk about boys volleyball, it's interesting to talk to people about it, because, a lot of the things you hear are the things you've heard on the girls' side for years. Like, we have to practice late at night. We have to, we know we're low on the totem pole, so we have to kind of just be happy with whatever we can get. Those are kind of the stories you always heard from the girls' side, as far as, like, we're not getting the recognition, we're not getting the, facilities, we're just going to have to make do with what we have. So it's kind of interesting to hear that. It's kind of flipped because they're not an affiliated sport, or they haven't been, so they just kind of have to be happy with whatever they can get. But I think as now like you said, the IHSA is taking this on as emerging sport. So it's going to become more just part of the school culture, I think. And I think people who are maybe scared to start boys volleyball for whatever reason, taking athletes away from other sports or, just other things, are we going to have, enough kids to do it? And it's interesting. There's schools that do have boys volleyball, but they may only play a handful of games, or, they don't travel for games. So I think now you're going to see more full schedules, more teams who have more of kind of a formal team, I would say. And I think there's something like 40 something teams now in the state. And I think we'll see that rise pretty quickly here, but yeah, it will become popular, and it's more popular, I think, than people probably know it is at the club level. But there's only a handful of clubs right now, so I think that'll probably expand as well. And I think that's where when you talk to these boys volleyball players, that's kind of what they say is we need more. If it's going to grow, we probably need to do more in the off season. To have teams that kind of play or the top players playing year round a little bit more than they are now. Or even those kids who want to, play year round, having more opportunities to do so. Kind of like the girls do. The girls have, I've been, my niece plays, she played at a pretty high level volleyball, and I'd go to, the convention center downtown, and man, it was like 100 courts. It's just like teams from everywhere, all over the Midwest, or even beyond. And it's kind of like going to AAU basketball. You don't, it's not one of those things that's really, publicized, or it's just going on and people just kind of don't pay much attention to it. Man, once you're immersed in that world, you realize like girls volleyball, there is a ton of kids who play at a high level. It's a fun sport to watch. It's fast moving. So I think it'll be, pretty quickly, probably pretty popular for boys in the school side of things.
And then I start to wonder, how is this going to affect other boys sports? Because volleyball is a fun sport. I didn't play competitive. I mean, I played competitively in like leagues as an adult when I was younger. So it's a fun sport that you can play for a long time. And many people do. You can play it co-ed. And it's just the popularity. I wonder if it will start affecting other sports as well, taking guys away.
Yeah, being a spring sport, I think that's probably the place to keep it, because, baseball players are generally playing baseball. They a lot of those guys are single sport athletes. So I think that won't really affect baseball much. Track is maybe where you could find some athletes, track is an area where, it's a no-cut sport. So maybe some of those athletes who, maybe aren't as interested in track go over to volleyball. Basketball is the one area where some of these guys who play basketball would be really good volleyball players. And that may be a good avenue for them to, hey, if you're not doing anything in the spring, come play, condition, you can, maybe that's where I'm kind of curious about that too. Like, and I don't know all the ins and outs of how that would conflict, in your summers and your off-season conditioning and everything. I'm sure there's basketball coaches who don't want to hear their best basketball players are playing volleyball and stepping on somebody's foot and rolling their ankle. But I think that's maybe some of those second level guys who are playing basketball might be interested in doing that, and I think that would translate pretty well, the jumping, the quick movements, getting digs and all that kind of thing. I think that would probably be, to me, that's maybe where, that would be a good marriage of sports, I would think.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that were basketball players that they played and were very good for obvious reasons. You've got the height already. Right. Obviously, you usually have hand-eye coordination, but just very interesting. What else is going on the high school ranks? Anything new this week? I saw that one of the things I did see, and I talked about it briefly earlier, Tay Davis, a member of the Indiana All-Star team, will not be able to participate because he has to report to Seton Hall early. So there will be down one player. Are they going to replace him or leave that blank?
No, they'll leave it. They'll leave it. And, I think in this case, I talked to Mike Broughton a little bit about it on Sunday night, I think it was, or Monday night. I think it was Sunday night. But he said, hey, it's not a, it's unfortunate because they need Tay Davis because this team doesn't have a lot of height, so it's a bad loss, but at the same time, they're not going to, take his jersey or anything because, his recruitment changed because Louisville's coach left. And then he was kind of left without he could have stayed, but his recruiting changed. So, now going to Seton Hall wants him there by, basically the end of this month, him and his brother to get started. Now, if
that kind of aggravates me that they do that, though, with somebody that's in an all-star game. You would think that they would let them have that. It's just 1 week that it would take him.
Well, yeah, and it happens. So, Kentucky's been, on the Kentucky all-star side of things, that's been a problem in the past, with getting those guys because of the same reason. But yeah, and if this would have happened, if he would have been committed to Seton Hall for a while, and this would have happened, and he would have said he was unable to play, then they probably would have, just not made him an all-star. That's kind of been over the last 4, 5, 6 years. That's been kind of a stipulation when they ask you if you're going to be an all-star. They say, are you going to be able to play in the game? And if not, they don't make you an all-star. So it's kind of because they were left high and dry a few years ago by a couple of kids who, they're like, yeah, I'll be on the team. And then they didn't come to the game. So, and they had, excuses for it, which I think were not necessarily valid. So they've kind of made that change to say, hey, if you're going to be on this team, you're playing, we'll do everything we can, work with your school and make sure you get to where you need to be on time. And a lot of them leave that Sunday, right after the weekend's over. And it's good. They've gone back to Friday, Saturday instead. A couple of years they went Saturday, Sunday, and that's why they missed out on some of those kids who had to leave to go to school that Sunday. So it went back to Friday, Saturday. That helps with things. But in this case, it was it doesn't sound like there's much the Davis family can, and his dad is the Warren Central coach. So obviously he wants him to play, and his dad's going to be there at the game, and his mom to receive the jersey and things like that. So, they want him to be there, but they're kind of stuck. So that's kind of the situation with that.
Yeah. I place that blame on Seton Hall. I think that's ridiculous. It drives me insane. There's no way that week would affect his season in any way. So, I can complain about it all I want. But and then something I was talking about, the All-Star game on the Indiana side has always drawn well enough that it remained in the arenas, whether it was Market Square, now Gamebridge Fieldhouse, moved because of construction. But now are they just going to keep it at Southport?
That's yet to be seen. I think, ideally they would move it back there, but they kind of like Southport, having it there. I think it's probably partly, it's easier, I think, to have it there, to be honest. And now does it lose some of the prestige of having it? I don't know. I mean, maybe a little bit. Obviously, Gamebridge is a great place, and,
it gives Indiana a better home court advantage, I'll tell you that, because it'll probably almost fill that place, which will make it very loud.
Yeah, and last year it felt like it was not full, but it felt like there was a lot of people there, and there was a good crowd, but maybe it loses a little bit of that, from a perception standpoint, but it feels more like a high school event to me than when you have it at Southport. And I'm perfectly admit that I'm biased about this, but I love Southport Fieldhouse, and
it's a great spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably my favorite place anywhere to cover a game. So I'm biased, but and Gamebridge is awesome too. I love that place too. But yeah, I think I think they'll probably wait and see after this year and see how it goes, and then probably partly the what the financial situation is as well. So you can't go wrong, in my opinion, having it either place.
No, actually, Indiana could go to Southport. You could go to Lebanon. You could go to the Hatchet House. You could go to all these really, really, and maybe that's an idea, these really cool gyms that are out there, like the Hatchet House that I just mentioned, Lebanon. That's where the movie Blue Chips was filmed. That was the home of the Western University.
That was Frankfurt.
Oh, I meant Frankfurt. Why do I keep saying that? Daggone it. I've been saying that. I don't know why. A buddy of mine is from Frankfurt, and I know that the Frankfurt hot dogs. So I don't know why I keep saying that, but go to Frankfurt. I mean, those are some great, unique places, man.
Yeah, that's an idea. I wouldn't be against that. And they do some of
that.
Now,
give me credit for that. I think proposed that since the Indy Star is behind this thing, so.
They do some of that with the junior games too. Like they'll play, they had a game at the Hatchet House. I remember they had at Kokomo, the old gym they have there. What is that? The Memorial Gym is a really cool one. Where else they've had some, they've moved the junior game around to some of those places too. And I think that's always a cool thing, but yeah, that's not and I know maybe in the future, the game, cause there's always talk about, what are we going to do with Kentucky? Should we bring in Ohio or something else? And maybe in the future, they just play the juniors and they do what you're saying. They go around to different places that are cool in the state and just play the juniors and then play one game outside during the week and then play at Indianapolis somewhere, whether it's Southport or Gamebridge or whatever, on that Friday or Saturday night. There's an idea.
There you go. They're playing, and why not have the junior all-stars? I guess because the girls, it would be too much, but I was like, man, you could have the junior all-stars play as well, but that would be too much in a single day for certain. They're playing at Bedford North Lawrence. I think the Indiana, I have to pull it back up. I think the Indiana and Kentucky junior all-stars are playing at Bedford.
Right.
Then the junior all-stars are playing the senior all-stars down in Mount Vernon.
Yeah. At Mount Vernon up in, the Mount Vernon that's up here. Yeah.
Okay. You see, there's too many Mount Vernons. And where is this Mount Vernon?
Fortville, which is right outside Lawrence Township, and that's a huge Mount Vernon.
East side.
Yeah, they won state in 4A football this year. They're going to be they're an oncoming power in a lot of sports.
So that's east of Indianapolis there.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of nice gym? What's that? I've not been to that gym.
Yeah, it's a nice gym. It's partly they do this because Mount Vernon has one of the Gerard brothers. They're both going to IUPUI. One of them's an all-star, so they try to tie it with if someone has an all-star, they try to tie it to someone who's in the game, so they have kind of that home crowd. For that person. So that's what they normally try to do. And there was a couple other places they were looking at. I know Carmel and Westfield, they were looking at having the game there, or even possibly Cathedral, but Cathedral's a little bit smaller gym. And then Carmel and Westfield are undergoing some renovations. So, they ended up Mount Vernon's a really nice gym too. So that'll be a good place for it. And it's not so big where it'll, it's overwhelmingly big, but it's the right size of gym for that game.
All right. So I think John's telling me we've gone along. So perfect, man. What's coming up next for you?
I'm going out to some AAU, I think this weekend, probably for a little while. And I've got some rankings coming out, some final rankings on the in-state 2022 class, and then working on some other projects and stuff I can probably tell you more about at a different time. But yes, still got a lot going on.
Sounds great, brother. We look forward to it. I can't thank you enough. Make sure you follow Kyle Neddenriep from the Indy Star. Be a subscriber. I am. And can't wait to do it again next week, man.
All right, Jim. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kyle Neddenriep from the Indy Star joining us here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Wednesday, brought to you by our good friends at Remax Realty. If you're in the market for a home in the Indianapolis area, reach out to Cheryl Sizemore, Cheryl at IndyHomePros.com. Hey, we're back with more. Jordan Hulls is joining us soon on Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Back after this.
We'll be right back to the golf club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Andy Moore Honda.
So the same deal as normal here. We'll just go until either Rick or Jordan shows up, and then we'll take another break.
Oh, is this Rick's time?
No, well, so we're at 9:40. We'll have about 7 or 8 minutes till he normally shows up, and then we'll break again.
Okay. Or I could talk to him. If he does join, I could talk to him for a second and then break.
As long as you remember to break. That's the key there.
That is true.
Because there was a time.
There was a time
when and it was a special circumstance. We had Josh Hoover on and I can't even think of his name, the film producer. And you ended up doing like a 50-minute segment because you brought him on without taking a break.
That just takes some creative editing. God damn, it's hot as shit. Oh, I've refused to turn the air on.
I cannot believe you haven't. I turned my air on a couple of weeks ago.
I'm like, it's bull crap. You can't go from almost needing the heater to needing air conditioning. I'm
the other way around though. I'll leave my air on, or I'll wait a long time and turn on my heat whenever it gets cool out. But with the AC, the moment I need AC, I'm turning it on. So Jordan Holes is for sure joining us, like he told you he's coming on?
Yep.
Okay. And he has the link that I sent to him. He didn't have any trouble with that yet. He hadn't said anything about it, I'm sure.
He did not say anything.
Well, that is good. All right.
In the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Remax Advanced Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in you getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl Sizemore from Remax Advanced Realty at cheryl@indyhomepros.com or 317-298-0961. Cheryl Sizemore from Remax Advanced Realty. Let Cheryl Sizemore get you in the home you want today. Cheryl@indyhomepros.com.
This segment is brought to you by Feast Market and Cellar. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio here on this Wednesday. Brought to you by our good friends at Feast Market and Cellar. Located next door to Southern Stone Restaurant on Patterson and Rogers in Bloomington, they offer an extensive wine selection with a sommelier on staff. If you don't know what that is, that's a world-renowned expert. They also provide a wide variety of cheeses, gourmet sandwiches, entrees, and a coffee bar, bread, and pastries, all of that are mouth-watering. Trust me, they've got some great wines. Make sure you look them up. They're all part of the WOW Club. Don't forget to go to your Apple App Store or Google Play Store and sign up. It's free. You can help us out immensely. Even if you don't use it, you can help us. There's all kinds of stuff, though, that you might like. They are the Endeavor Hospitality, the group, they are a sponsor of IU Athletics in addition to being a sponsor of ours. So they basically help bring this content to you and allow us to do this. So please support them. We appreciate that. Also, if you're not listening on the ref and on 97.7 ESPN in Evansville or WBRO in Marengo, you can, in following on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe and the like button. The like button really, I think it suggests our videos more to other people. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what happens. So the more people like it, it shows it to other people who have similar interests who may not regularly watch the show or be subscribed. That's what the brilliance of the like button is on YouTube.
There you go. So there's it all spelled out. But it helps us. So we're asking you to help us. Help us. Help you. Help me. Help you. What movie, John?
Man, you got me again. I have no idea.
Golly, are you kidding me? Tom Cruise.
What is it?
He's an agent. Sports agent.
Doesn't help either. No.
People, look what I'm dealing with here. Who was it you didn't? Oh, did not yesterday, or was it yesterday, Monday? Had never heard of, I gave him the line, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need.
Yeah, that was Monday. Yep.
Yeah. He had no idea what that was either. So that's what I'm dealing with here, people. Man, oh man.
Show me the money. They're showing me the money right now.
That's not the name of the movie, though. They're trying to give you a big hint. Show me the money.
It doesn't help. See, I'm not a cinephile like most people. I don't watch a lot of.
Yeah, but this is one of those
movies
movies that everybody sees, especially it's kind of because it's sports related. I mean, look at all this. Look at this. There's Brad hitting it up. You got Robert hitting it up. Tony hitting it up. Tim just says OMG, John. Jennifer says,
is there any other hints?
Jennifer says it's fine. Just don't talk about Nickelback, John's favorite band.
They're not my favorite band. They've just deemed it my favorite band because they all hate Nickelback.
Well, I don't understand the hating, but
it's because I made that one.
Let's
comment about them being AC/DC, and then it all went to hell from there.
Well, it's not going to hell now. We can forget about Nickelback. Let's bring in the Rolling Stones of bands. Forget about Nickelback, baby. We got the Rolling Stones with us. What's up, Jordan Holes?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. How are you doing?
Oh, can't complain. Just got the little guy here. He's watching a little TV while I do this, and other son's at school. Mom's with baby girl, and a lot of exciting stuff going on.
It sounds like it. First of all, how did you had a Final Four last weekend, right?
Correct. Yeah.
How did that go?
It was good. We were in the Basketball Champions League, which is an international competition, and we had made it all the way to the Final Four. So this last week we were in Spain, Bilbao, Spain, and we lost the first game that we could have advanced to the finals. It was a hard-fought game, lost that one, but then we bounced back and won on Sunday against a team from Israel and got third place. So quite the accomplishment. It was a long season, a hard-fought season, a lot of great teams, and for us to get third place, it was pretty special. So now I have my German league, and those playoffs start this weekend, and then they go from there.
Now, the German league, that is just the main German league. So the team
Correct.
that you mainly had played for, you guys last year was probably the best year you've had with the team, I believe. And this year, is it going pretty similar?
Yeah, pretty good. Since we played internationally this year, so we have a lot more. Played a lot more games. We have a game tonight to finish the regular season, and if we win, then we place fourth. If we lose, then we drop to sixth. So it's kind of an important game today that we get home court advantage if we're fourth, and if not, then we don't. So going into the playoffs, so we have a game tonight to clinch that, and it's been a good year though in German league and internationally.
What time is your game tonight?
It's at 7 p.m. my time, so 1 p.m. Eastern time. But it's only on the German, the TV streaming stuff here. So unless for the fans, I guess.
Well,
sometimes
I saw Joseph Fix.
Oh, Joe Fix, yeah.
Works with your dad. We were meeting one day, and he showed me a link that I could follow.
Yeah,
on there. So
yeah. Sometimes there's a group on, I think, For the Fans, I think is their name. Sometimes they have the games, or there's other links that you can find in other various ways, I guess. But yeah, this is German stuff today.
Well, good luck with that, man. I hope it all goes well. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, and so we can hit the break and not miss that, and then we can go along. We'll bring Rick Bozich in as well. But Jordan Hulls is with us, the newest staff member of Indiana basketball. We're back with more on Indiana Sports Beat, brought to you by our friends at Feast Market and Cellar, located next door to Southern Stone in Bloomington. Back right after this.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Whether you're visiting... Perfect timing, Mr. Bozich.
What's going on, everybody? Congratulations, Jordan.
Hey, thank you very much. Good to see you.
Awesome news.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's crazy.
Hey, when did your grandfather leave the Indiana staff?
I want to say 73.
Okay, so I was checking because Rick
72.
He was there when I was in school, man. That's how old I am.
He was. Well, that's the reason I was asking, because I knew you were there in 76, but I didn't know what year you were. I didn't know like when you were freshman.
I started in 71. I started the same year as Coach Knight in Assembly Hall.
No
so
kidding.
That's when my grandpa was there, and then the next, I don't think he was there more than 1 or 2 years.
It was like Dave Bliss, Bob Weltlick, Bob Donewald, who brought Laz and Aber. It's quite a staff. And then Coach K was my senior year. Coach K was the grad assistant.
Yeah.
And Coach Knight actually let the reporters from the Daily Student go on road trips with the team. And Coach K, like one time there was a trip to Northwestern and Wisconsin, and he made sure that I got milk and cookies at night before the game.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, milk and cookies. Great sports stories. Rick Bozich has Mike Krzyzewski bringing him milk and cookies. My best sports story is being cussed out by Harry Carey. That's just hilarious. Congratulations, Jordan. That's awesome. I mean, I knew it was where we thought it was coming. I had mentioned to your dad a month ago. I had heard about this. I said, hey, a little birdie. He's like, how did you know? And I'm like going, man, this is the worst kept secret around. I wasn't the only one. Somebody told me.
I don't know who that was, but it's been.
It was not your dad. I'll tell you that.
No, I know. Yeah, I didn't tell anybody, but I didn't know either. So I just did the whole process, and I was really excited for the opportunity to even have a chance to get the job, and end up being the best thing for me and my family. If there was going to be anything that made me retire early, it was going to be coming back and playing a role and being on Indiana staff and learning from a great group of guys. And
save all this. All that's good stuff there, man. You got to save that.
Here we go.
Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer. Get more to your door with AndyMooreHonda.com.
Come see us at the all-new Andy Moore Honda, now in Bloomington.
This segment is brought to you by Bubba's 33 in Clarksville. Pizza, burgers, beer.
No more?
Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
No, not right now. Okay. 1 second.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio coming to you here on this Wednesday. It's a family day. We've got Hall of Famer Rick Bozich with us. We've got future Indiana Athletics Hall of Famer Jordan Hull with us, the newest staffer. Who's still in Germany, during the day. He's got his youngster at home, one's in school. You've got 3. Where's the other one?
Baby girl's with mama going to get big brother, but little guy had to come home a little earlier today, so we get to hang out a little bit, don't we, bud? Yeah, he's just watching some TV while I do this, but yeah, it's everything is great, man. Kids are growing up fast, and really can't complain. Exciting times.
No more sauerkraut. They have to like that, surely.
Hey, they've lived more more in Germany than they have in Indiana.
It's amazing. It is. Rick Bozich with us as well. Rick, how are you, brother?
Hold on one second.
Doing good. Post Kentucky Derby, quiet time this week, and congratulations to Jordan. I saw the news on Monday. Thought it was a tremendous move by Mike Woodson, and the one thing I like about it, it's Coach Woodson's from the Knight era. Coach Hulls is from the Crean era. It's good for Indiana to get players from all the different eras involved and pulling together. I think there have been times when the program and the fan base really hasn't been unified, but I think Coach Woodson has done a lot to change that narrative, and I think it'll help IU basketball.
Well, and I agree with that. And as a matter of fact, I said that earlier. Hey, Leo, how are you, buddy? Hi. How are you? How are you?
Good.
Are you happy to be moving back home, or do you even know what that is? Nah.
Yeah, you're happy though. Big brother.
He's always happy. Always happy.
Always happy. Okay. Yeah.
What was I going to say? What were we talking about? Hey, well, your White Sox won. They won last night, right?
They did win, and the kid from the University of Louisville who was at U of L 2 years ago and was drafted in 2020 pitched a no-hitter for the Angels, Reed Detmers.
Wow, we'll have to get on that later on.
Yeah.
So Indiana makes the move to get Jordan Hulls, which I know what it was. You're talking about all the moves are being made. I said earlier, there has been a 2-decade period where Indiana has just done nothing but made boneheaded move after boneheaded move, written and signed boneheaded contracts. Now, finally, for like a consecutive year or two, we're seeing positive things that are moving the program forward. Everything is moving in a forward direction, and that has not been the case since Bob Knight was here, basically. I mean, there were some years, of course, in 2013 where they hit the up and down, but it didn't. After these guys left, it wasn't sustained. And but this is just seems like everything's moving in a positive direction.
Yeah, I mean, I look around at different fan bases because I travel a lot, seeing teams in the SEC covering Kentucky, teams in ACC seeing Louisville, and then seeing teams in the Big Ten covering IU. And the successful programs, look at Duke. That's like really critical to the success of their program. They call it, quote, the brotherhood. And when John Shire just brought Jay Lucas in from Kentucky staff, that's the first time in 25 years, really, they've had a non-Duke guy on their staff. And they really go out of their way to create a feeling of, a connectivity between players of all the different generations. And I think that helps. I'm not saying it's a key factor in, winning a championship or something, but it helps create the culture that you want to build. And I think Mike Woodson is trying to do that, Jordan, don't you think?
Yeah, it's been, for me, it's an awesome opportunity. And even before all this stuff was happening the last, couple of weeks, you could definitely see a trend in how the program was going. And for me and my family to be part of that and be part of a great staff, it's something that I've always dreamt of doing, coming back home and doing that. There's only a few things in this world that would make me retire basketball early, and coming back to be on Indiana staff is one of them. And obviously I did my research, my homework. I tried to be as well prepared as I could and understand what I'm getting into. But after all that, this is an opportunity that we are more than thankful for. And, I'm going to work my tail off. I'm going to come in and do whatever I need to do to help the program. And I'm really excited to learn from Coach Woodson and the rest of the staff. This is a whole different ball game for me, but I know that, I'm not afraid of the work. It's all things that I'm super excited to be part of.
Because I was talking about this for a while. You're at the top of your game right now. I mean, you're playing as well as you've ever played. You're shooting 45% from three. The Indiana could use you. But I know you could play another couple of years and probably were planning on doing that. So it took some doing for them to get you out of there, even though it's, you're in Germany, the family's in Germany. So I can imagine this was a tough decision for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult just because although former players can attest to this too, you never know when it's going to happen, and you feel like you can play forever, but that's definitely not the case. And well, I definitely was planning on playing for another couple of years until this opportunity came up, and after long talks and praying about it and going through the pros and cons, and this is something that you know I'd be silly to even not even consider and pass it up. So I was super thrilled to even have the chance to get this job. And yeah, like you said, I've been playing well, and for me to hang up the shoes on a higher note, and the game isn't forcing me to retire. I'm choosing to go a different path, and a path that I think is better for me and my family and our future. Play 2 or 3 more years, and then an opportunity like this doesn't exist when I'm done. Or jump on it now and try and make the most of it and get right into it and put my family, family's the most important thing to me. And that's what Indiana is all about as well. So I'm really excited to be part of that family and bringing my own family back home, back to Bloomington, where we already have a house. My parents live there. Her parents aren't far away. It's time. My kids are 5 years old, 3 and 1.5. My parents aren't getting any younger. My in-laws aren't getting any younger. They're missing their cousins. All sorts of things go into play when you just talk about the family aspect of it. But basketball-wise too, this is all I've done. It's all my kids have seen their papa do is play basketball. But now they're going to see what Papa grew up doing himself, going to IU basketball games, being an IU fan, and for me to be on staff and they get to see me grow in a different way. I think that's really special.
It's kind of like exactly what you went through. You're the reason you were in Bloomington is because your grandfather was a part of Bob Knight's staff at Army, and he came to Indiana in '71 when Bob Knight was hired. And that's kind of the same path that the see that growing up. I mean, that is very, very influential, obviously.
No question. I think, when me and my wife sit down and talk about it, and, we have this to think about, we have that to think about, but for us, and you kind of bring it full circle is, this is where everything started for me. My love for basketball, my mom's dad was a professor at Indiana. Like, it's all I've ever known. So, and for my kids to grow up in that same environment, I don't think they really had a choice whether we were in Germany or Bloomington. They were going to be Hoosiers regardless. But for us to have this opportunity to start a new chapter of our lives, it's pretty remarkable. And we're really excited about it. It's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's not going to be easy leaving the game and leaving the life that we built over here, because we do love it. Our kids are learning a different language, different culture, and it's all they've ever known too. So, but it's just the right time. It's the right situation. It's perfect fit. And I'm really eager to get back and to learn what I need to in order to help the program best I can.
Rick?
Jordan, do you know, what's your earliest memory of IU basketball or the first game you ever went to?
Earliest memory, I remember always going to Hoosier Hysteria, just, whether I was 5 years old, I can't remember the exact age, but I was definitely very young, and we brought our cans for the food drive, and we got to go sit up in the top balcony and just see. It was midnight too. At that time, that's when it was actually at midnight. So for us, it's like, oh, we get to stay out late. We get to go watch the basketball with our buddies. So those were some of my earliest memories for sure. And then my mom's dad, at his house, we'd always go in the basement and watch on his big screen. He had a big screen, and we always watched the Hoosiers play on there. So AJ Guyton hitting big shots was some of my fondest memories as a kid as well.
So you go back to him, and then Fife and Coverdale and Jared Jeffries and those guys?
Yeah. So when I was 12 is when they went to the Final Four, watching that team go and shock the world, really. And Jared, obviously being a Bloomington kid, so looking up to him and to go down to Kirkwood and stuff like that. I stayed in the car as a kid, of course, but going down there and just see the sea of people being so excited about the Hoosiers winning the basketball game, that was pretty crazy to see as a 12-year-old. And for me to be able to actually get and go do that. And be part of the reason why people went and celebrated in the streets as well. Well, it was pretty special.
Did you ever meet Bob Knight when you were younger?
No, it's crazy. Actually, I've actually never met him in person, which is
Wow.
the wildest thing. Like it's just never worked out. He did send me a really nice note one time. I think it was after I finished my college career. He commented on commentated on one of our games when we played Georgia in New York. And that, I guess that was the closest that we ever got to that point. But yeah, my grandpa and my grandma, they grew up with him in Ohio, so it's pretty cool.
Well, we'll make sure that changes as soon as you can get to Bloomington.
Hey, I would love that.
Well, John Leskowski owns the Culvers here, and he takes him a special root beer shake every week, in which they don't make root beer shakes, so they have to take the entire machine apart to do something different for that one shake, which he does.
That's awesome.
So that's cool. But yeah, looking forward to that. From the coaching standpoint, you're switching. It's not, I guess, coaching. You will be able to do some coaching now because the NCAA recently changed the rule that only the 4 coaches could instruct. Now, an additional few guys can, and I think your position is one of those, correct? You don't even know yet.
I'm waiting to be told. I don't want to say what I can and can't do.
Yeah,
but,
right. I get it.
Whatever I can do, I will do to the best of my ability, and I'm excited to be around the guys. One of the things, playing over here for 9 years, I get new rookies coming in every year. So for me, I think I can really tailor that to what I'm going to be doing with, whether it's the new recruits or the guys who are already on campus, current players. I can relate to them just because, I'm still playing, so I can kind of relate to them on that level as well. And I think that's really going to help me out, just connecting with different people. I'm all about building relationships, and I think that's going to be really important. And I'm looking forward to the coaching aspect as well. If that is the case, or whatever I'm able to do in that regard, just through my JH1 training stuff that I've been able to do. It's a huge passion of mine, to instruct and to just read the game and talk the game over with people. I just love talking about it. And, I'm looking forward to the opportunity just to be around the game in a different outfit, so to speak, not being a player, but I've tried to take on that role as a point guard. You kind of naturally have that role, wanting to coach on the floor and those kind of things, but to actually not be on the floor anymore and being on the sideline and fully taking it all in. I'm really excited about that, and it's going to be a learning process. And but it's exciting to me just because basketball is all I've ever known, and I think I can do a pretty good job at it.
And ironically, one of Indiana's biggest problems for the last couple of years has been shooting, the lack of ability to shoot exactly what you do. How can you work with guys? Because it can't be just that simple, that, you need to tweak this and tweak that. That's no one else has been able to see, but I know a lot of it is mental, and just and playing professionally for 9 years. Obviously you've learned, and one of the shorter guys out there, you've had to learn to get your shot off quick, to find your shot, to work hard to get shots, to do things. Or is that some of the stuff that you think you can bring to these guys, these younger players?
Yeah, for sure. I think just through playing the game for so long, and the coaching staff has played the game a lot as well. I'm not the only person who will be able to do that, but most recently, I think being able to teach, whether it's shooting mechanics or just reading pick and rolls or whatever it is, once I get back to campus and understand kind of what we as a staff are trying to do, I'm more than excited to pitch in whatever I can. And when it comes to shooting, I think that is something I'm good at teaching. It's something that I've over here, whether it's with guys or back home in the summertime when I'm training kids, and like you're saying, a lot of it's mental. So if I have to do that as well, I think I can cover all aspects in that. But again, it's more so I'm excited about just the change of roles, that I think whether that's teaching this or just sitting back and learning, because like I said, I have a lot to learn from the staff. I'm really looking forward to that aspect and seeing different ways to connect with the players and help them be the best that they can be.
Rick?
Jordan, you're in the Bundesliga, is that right? And how far along are you in the playoffs? And then a couple of your buddies I've talked to are Braden Hobbs and Peyton Siva. You play against them?
Yeah, for sure. Peyton, he was in New Zealand this year, and now I think he flew to Greece to finish the season there. And Braden's in Spain this year. So, and I've actually talked to those guys the last couple of weeks, funny enough. But great players. But now in Germany, my playoffs start on the weekend, and from there, then it just depends on how well we do from there. But it's
how many series do you have to win it all?
It'll be 9 games. If we win 9 games, then we win the whole thing. But they drag it out. It's 5-game series, and some. I don't even know the full schedule right now because it depends on how we finish tonight. If we win, then we're the 4th seed. If we lose, then we're the 6th seed. So then it kind of alters the scheduling. But yeah, so 9 games to win it all. So we'll see where we get.
How many Bundesliga championships have you won in your career?
0. It's usually no German championships. Last year we were 1st overall in the regular season, and then Munich and Alba Berlin, they play in the EuroLeague. They're the 2 powerhouses of our league, and one of those 2 teams usually is the one who ends up winning it. Or that's what history is telling us. But we beat Alba Berlin twice this year, and Munich's beat us twice. But we have as good a chance as anybody with our style of play. We pick up full court. We play just crazy defense the whole game, and not too many people like to deal with that. So we have a chance against anybody, and that's why we did so well in the Champions League. That's why we were able to get to the Final Four, just with our different style of play and different guys who are able to step up on the offensive end.
And just one more, it's your goal. I know you're a structured guy who's goal oriented. Your goal someday to be a college basketball head coach?
It's crossed my mind, but for me, honestly, since this is, I think coaching is something I've always been passionate about. To what extent, I've never really said, okay, this is exactly what I want to do. I think for me, it's more importantly, it's just been what's best for me and my family at this point. And usually it's been, okay, am I going to go to Germany or am I going to go to a different country? But when it comes to coaching, I think I know that I have a lot to learn in that regard. It's way different being on the court than it is on the sidelines. And I'm really excited for that learning process. And I'd love to be a coach someday, whenever that would be. I'm treating this as, the next step towards, something, who knows, it's hard to predict, but right now I'm just focused on being the best guy on this staff who can do my job. I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability, and to help, Coach Woodson and the staff do their job to the best of their abilities, and for ultimately the program. That's what's most important to me. I don't really give that too much thought. Of course, I'd love to coach, but right now that's nothing that I put too much thought in.
We've got to take a quick break. Hopefully the guys can hang out for the last segment, and we've got plenty more to talk about. Jordan Hulls, the newest basketball staffer, former IU great with us, and Hall of Fame writer Rick Bozich as well from WDRB.com. We're back with more, brought to you by Bubba's 33 in Clarksville. Pizza, burgers, beer right after this.
We'll be right back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Whether you're visiting, I can see Leo all over Assembly Hall right now.
He'll be Antoine Davis.
There you go.
Hey. They're pumped. We tried to show them some different clips on YouTube and stuff about, hey, this is where we're gonna go, and the fans, it's a little bit bigger fans than what you're used to. So they're excited, I think.
What town are you in? Where are you?
I'm in Ludwigsburg, which is about 20 minutes from Stuttgart, Germany.
Okay.
Yeah, southern part of Germany. It's really nice. We've this is my second year here, and it's been really nice for the kids. And Stuttgart's a nice city, not too big, not too small, but the city we're in is.
You should ship a Mercedes home.
Yeah, that's where Stuttgart. That's where they're made, right? Stuttgart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really cool. Porsche and Mercedes is there.
Oh, okay. I'll take one of each.
Yeah. That'd be nice to do.
Peyton was at Alba Berlin last year, right? Didn't they win it last year?
Yeah, Peyton, he had been in Alba for most of his career, I think. I want to say 6 years at least. At the highest level. Alba is a really good team. I always felt like my style of play really fit well in there, but it just never worked out that way. But they're a really good team, and he did really well. But he's, like I said, he went to New Zealand this year, played there, and now he's in Panathinaikos in Greece.
You probably don't know when you'll be in town yet, do you?
No, it just depends.
When's let's say you won everything, when would it be?
If we won and like it went to like game 5 of every series, absolute latest I think is like June 18th or something crazy like that.
Damn, right before the golf scramble.
Yeah,
like the NBA finals, drag it out, huh?
It's crazy. And I mean, the league itself only plays once a week. So like it seems like us and Alba and Munich, they're competitions, try and the other teams only play 34 games and it takes 10 months. It's ridiculous.
Well, I've already got your appointment with Bob Knight set up.
Okay.
Wow.
That'd be great.
Have you talked to Coach Buckley at all?
I haven't talked to I talked to him before all this. I talked to him when he got his new gig. I sent him a congratulations and stuff like that. He sees my dad on the road a little bit every once in a while.
20 seconds. And Jim, you'll have about 13 minutes left.
Okie dokie.
Indiana Sports Beat Radio on the homepage or on the station every week, Monday through Friday. If we're not on a station where you live, we should be. Ask for Indiana Sports Beat Radio. This segment is brought to you by Courtroom Sports Grill in Bedford. Now back to the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios for more Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, presented by Endeavor Hospitality Group and Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Welcome back on this Wednesday, Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Happy to have Jordan Hulls, Indiana's newest basketball staffer, and Hall of Fame writer Rick Bozich with us from WDRB.com. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Made it through the halfway point. Before I forget, when Jordan is able to get back in, which will be sometime in June, depending on how his tournaments fare. On June 23rd, Never Lose Hoop golf outing will be there. So if you want to play in this, it's going to be an unbelievable opportunity. But more importantly, you're raising money for kids with cancer for Jordan's foundation. So to support this, but if you can't participate, you can donate through the same link. You can also sponsor a hole, and I threw Jordan under the bus without his knowledge. I said, if you sponsor a hole just for the heck of it, we'll get a picture of Jordan next to the sign, and we'll send it to you. Do something special for you. But however, whatever you guys want to do. But any way you can help out, this all goes, every bit of it goes to Never Lose Hoop. So make sure you get on that. It's all that information is on every forum page on thehoosier.com, and we'll keep posting that on social media as well. Looking forward to the golf tournament, Jordan. You might get back just in time to play.
Yeah, well, it's pretty exciting because we haven't been able to have it. So we're excited to get it back going. I appreciate all the help that you're doing promoting it and trying to get whole sponsors and things like that. It's a really cool cause. We've had some great turnouts in the past, and hopefully I get back in time where I can show my face and maybe hit a few worm burners in the ground.
When's the last time you've swung a club?
Man, I do love to golf. It's just been I haven't golfed probably in 2 years.
Do you have clubs over in Germany?
No, I don't have them in Germany, and it's a lot harder to get on public courses over here. They're
Really?
way more strict about just letting random people go on the course and tearing it up. But I don't know. 2 years ago, I golfed out here one time for a team event, and then in the summers in Bloomington, I don't think I even golfed the last 2 summers. I did go to the range once, and that was it. But that's neither, that's regardless. It's going to be a great cause. It's
going to be fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
The worst case is you get to see him hack. Sometimes that's even more fun. It makes you better. Hopefully we can get Rick up. You're not a golfer. Are you a golfer, Rick? You don't have golf, right?
I haven't golfed probably in 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
It might be longer than that. The last time I played golf, I was in the same foursome with Don Fisher, who's like one of the best golfers out there.
Yeah.
He had to tolerate playing with me. I don't think he's ever recovered.
Let me tell you, Don Fisher is competitive. I was in last season. I did. They had the Indiana women's softball team had this skills thing for the media, and I was out there, and I had hurt my neck, so I was just not going through it full strength. But Don was out there, and he was in the finals with this other kid. Probably should have won. And Don's 72 or something. And I got news for you. He doesn't look it, but he doesn't act it either. He is competitive as they get. It's funny. And I'm sure he'll be looking forward to reacquainting with you. Don Fisher called so many of your games back when that was a fun era. And now it looks like heading back to that, as I talked about earlier. Talk about the recruits that are coming in. I know you don't know a lot about them, but you know that this is a hell of a class. You've got CJ Gunn out of Indianapolis, who is a pretty good shooter. He's a great shooter in high school. Of course, Jalen Hood-Schifino, a 6'5" point guard from Montverde Academy in Florida, who those guys, that's basically like playing JUCO. It's a different level those guys play at. I went down and watched them. Malik Reynaud was teammate as well. And then you add the possibility of Trace Jackson Davis coming back and all the pieces that are there. Indiana could possibly be in the best position they've been in since you were in school. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. Leo is bouncing. Leo is throwing his elephant all across the room. Sorry. Yeah, it's really exciting, bringing in these new guys and with the pieces that we already have. Coach Woodson and the staff's done an amazing job just coordinating all that and making sure everybody's meshing. And I'm really excited to get to campus and see these guys in person. It's been a really long time. I was in there last summer a little bit, seeing that team when I was working out myself. But for me to get back on a campus and see the new recruits coming in, they're going to make a big impact, I think. And like I said, mixing in with the guys who are already there, it's really exciting to see Indiana basketball back where it's at. And for me to come back and be a part of that on that side is super exciting for my family and I.
Certainly good timing, Rick.
The last few years over in Europe, how closely have you been able to follow IU basketball? Are you able to live stream any of the games, and have you seen much of it?
Yeah, I mean, I do as much as I can. With the time difference and 3 kids, it's a little bit more difficult than it used to be. I used to stay up till 4 a.m. and watch all the games if I could, but if I do that now, my 3-year-old, he's getting up at 6 a.m. regardless. So I can't perform too well on the court and do 2 hours of sleep. So it's been a little bit harder that way, but through social media and things, it's made it a lot easier to keep up with, whether it be recruits or what's going on with the current team or any changes like that. So that's been a positive, but like I said, I'm just super, super pumped about being part of that. That's really something that is coming to fruition, and it's fun to see. What's going to be next for us.
And then making the move from playing to coaching? You talked a little bit about that, and I know you're excited about it. What do you do? What are you doing mentally? What are you thinking? Like, all right, what am I going to have to do? Or are you looking for others to guide you? What are your thoughts going in, or you just playing it by ear until you get there?
Yeah, going into it, I'm not afraid to ask questions. I'm not afraid of the work, so that I'm really excited for that part. Just learning, it's completely different than playing on the court than it is being behind the scenes. So, I'm trying to do as much homework as I can before I come home, obviously, whether that be keeping up with the new recruits or learning, what programs I'm going to have to use or, whatever it may be. I'm just trying to get as much knowledge as I can so I can be as well prepared once I hit the ground back in Bloomington after my season. So, it's a great group of guys in that room, in that office, on the staff that I think will be, very helpful. And everybody's reached out, congratulate me, but also saying how we're here to support you, here to help you out with whatever you need, and that's really reassuring. I'd be lying to you if I wasn't a little anxious, a little giddy about all right, well, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I want to do this. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be me and build these relationships, and I'm really looking forward to that part, and getting to work. I've never been afraid of the work. It's kind of what I've had to do my whole life anyway, if it was on the court or if it was with the business or what have you. So, I'm really excited for this next step and this new challenge for me and my family.
Coaching, it seems like hard work, man. Long hours, lots of time in other gyms, lots of times in front of computer monitors, just watching so much film, going to talk to kids, which I assume you'll be doing that as well as recruiting aspect, going to these AAU events, which that part would be easy for you because the familiarity. How much easier is it going to make it for you because of dealing with having had JH1 and doing that yourself? Because that is right. That's the market you're going to be dealing with.
Yeah, it's definitely helped. I think that's been, a nice little thing that I've done in the past that I didn't know what it was preparing me for. I thought it was preparing me for JH1 and where that was going to take me. But I think it applies directly to what I'll be doing here. To me, it's about building those relationships, whether it's with the parent or the kid or what have you. And I've had to do that in the past, and I think it will translate really well into this. And, whether it's going to the tournaments, seeing games, a lot of game film like you're talking about. I prepared myself as a player, as I've gotten older, relying a lot more on film, breaking down films, breaking down tendencies of what the other teams are doing, what this guy does. And, that's what scouts are, right? And I've seen a multitude of various different ways to do scout. Now, I haven't done the cutting of film myself. That's always been just presented to me. So doing that, it will be different. But again, at the end of the day, I think, the knowledge that I've been able to gain through the game of basketball, playing, high school, college, overseas is going to be in a nice little thing for me to have. It's going to help me translate to what I need to do for this job and for this staff and for the program to the best that I can. And I think, I'm ready for that. I'm really excited for that opportunity.
Rick?
I think this season will be the 10-year anniversary of that 2013. Are there any plans to get Cody and Vic and Christian and Yogi and Will Sheehy and everybody together?
10 years. Wow, that's crazy. It's been 10 years. That'd be awesome. I know I talked to Cody quite a bit. I talked to everybody at least throughout the year sometime. That'd be really cool. Now that I'm back home in Bloomington, I don't have an excuse that I'm in Germany anymore. So we're gonna have to make something happen.
You'll be the coordinator.
Hey, that's me. That's what I'm supposed to do. I was a captain. I need to get the guys back to town too. No, that's a great point there. And I think, guys are getting a little older. We're realizing like, oh man, those were the great times. We built something really special. And that'd be really cool to celebrate that 10-year that way too.
You know, people are going to be looking to you to form a TBT team, an IU TBT team, because there's not one, and everybody keeps talking about that.
Yeah, I know. They've been asking me for years to do it. I just haven't had. It's been a little bit difficult for me to get that going, and whether or not I wanted to commit to that. It's a lot of time that I don't have in the summer. And now with this, again, I don't know. I'm going to be working my tail off, trying to learn the ropes too. So that'd be awesome if that were to be able to be the case, but I don't know.
We need to get some of those guys out to the golf outing, playing in the golf outing. That's what we need to get. And put that up there.
Does Cody play golf?
1 minute.
Oh, he does. Cody has played.
Tries.
Cody has played here at Eagle Point because a buddy of mine one day when I was out took a picture with him as he was leaving. So he's played here at Eagle Point where the golf outing will take place.
He tries to golf. I don't,
Yeah.
I guess we all try to golf at the end of the day, but Cody he really has to try.
Being 6'11" or whatever, that cannot be easy.
No, excuses for Cody.
I mean, what kind of club driver would a 6'11" guy have? I mean, I think he's got to be 7 foot long, man. Wow.
Yeah,
man, it has been amazing. I cannot thank you enough, Jordan. Thanks to JD Campbell as well, and Coach Woodson for letting this happen. Rick Bozich, always great to have you. I'm glad you could be here as well. Congratulations, man. I'm happy for you, happy for your family. Looking forward to seeing you guys. And I know your dad and your mom, JC and Joni, they're ecstatic. They've got to be ecstatic about this. Just doing backflips. So congratulations to everybody.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate it. We're happy to be coming home. It's a good day.
Rick, thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Anytime. Thank you.
Hey, that's it for today, folks. Brought to you by our good friends at the Courtroom Sports Grill. Make sure you go to their Facebook page to catch up on all the information for the Crawfest coming up this weekend down in Bedford. Jordan won't be able to make that one. He can go to next year's Crawfest and do that. You ever been to a Crawfest? Crawhead? Yeah, well, you'll have to do it, especially in Bedford. Awesome. I can only imagine what that would be like. Well, you can replace the sauerkraut with crawfish. Thanks to everybody. We appreciate you guys. I cannot thank you enough. Thanks to Bob Kravitz, Cal Neddenriep as well. And most importantly, thanks to you. Without you, no reason to be here. Back tomorrow again. Rhett Lewis, Indiana's newest color analyst for football, be with us. So until then, I'm Jim Coyle. I will see you on the radio.
Thanks for listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page for more clips and team coverage of Indiana basketball, football, and more. You can also find full episodes and tons of other content on thehoosier.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio.